The visuals on your screen are from Mumbai. Mumbai today. India's maximum city is under maximum stress. Flights are delayed. Trains have been suspended. A bridge has collapsed outside the city in Mahabaleshwar. Trees have been uprooted. Roads have disappeared underwater. People are wading through waist-deep flood water just to get to work. All because it rained. Mumbai has already received well over 200 millimeters of rain in several parts, and in some pockets it has also been close to 300. Authorities in Mumbai warned of flooding, flash floods, transport disruptions, high tide and landslide risks.
आज आपका मुंबई के लिए इसके लिए रेड अलर्ट इसको फिर किया है। 2 दिन पीछे था ही, आज भी रखा गया है। आज भी हैवी रेन, वेरी हैवी रेन अनेक जगहों तक में मिलेगी। एक्सट्रीमली हैवी एका दुका मिल सकती है। और दूसरा चीज़ है कि जो विंड्स है वो काफ़ी स्ट्रांग हुई है, तो उसकी वजह से भी कहीं जो पेड़ गिरना या जो कच्चा हाउसेस को कुछ नुकसान है, या इसी तरह जो ओल्ड बिल्डिंग्स है, ये कंटिन्यूस रेन की वजह से आप देखेंगे वहाँ पे भी कहीं ना कहीं इस तरह की जो है जो वनरेबल है उसमें दिक्कतें हो सकती है।
Today, barely 9 weeks after its grand inauguration, a new nearly 7,000 crore section of the Mumbai-Pune Expressway was partially closed after a rain-triggered landslide. The flagship project, featuring one of the world's widest road tunnels, was shut as a precaution. As a result, commuters were diverted onto the very route the project was built to bypass. Because of the poor weather, schools have been shut. The Maharashtra State Assembly was also adjourned. Tragically, 13 people have already died across Maharashtra in rain-related incidents. But here's the thing, none of this is new. Not the rain, not the flooding, not the fallen trees, certainly not the annual promises of better days. Every monsoon, Mumbai doesn't just receive rainfall. It receives deja vu, year after year. The monsoon doesn't just arrive. It exposes years of civic neglect. The rains are predictably intense, yet somehow they're always treated as a surprise by city officials. Despite having India's richest civic body, every year it's the same excuse. The rains were unprecedented. And the daily news reads like a ledger of civic failure. Trees, their roots suffocated by improperly laid tar and concrete, or left unpruned by municipal authorities. Toppling, killing pedestrians. Just last week, one of them killed a student inside a school van. And even more dangerous are the city's manholes and storm drains, open to manage the flooding. Last week, a citizen fell to his death in an uncovered manhole. It's a tragedy that echoes the 2017 death of Dr. Deepak Amrapurkar, the prominent gastroenterologist who fell into an open drain after abandoning his car that was stranded to walk home. The Bombay High Court then ordered protective grills over the city's drainage network. Yet, the wheels of bureaucracy have moved frustratingly slowly. Meanwhile, thieves keep stealing the cast iron manhole covers, and somehow a city that calls itself India's financial capital and a 21st century global metropolis still hasn't managed to design a tamper-proof drain cover. That is an administrative failure. The absurdity of it all was captured in a viral video as well. A municipal official inspecting monsoon preparedness fell straight into an open drain, while the mayor stood just a few feet away. Rain is an act of nature, but an uncovered manhole isn't. A tree that hasn't been pruned for years isn't. A building that collapsed because it was never made safe isn't. Rain did not kill these people. It was the infrastructure that failed them. And that is an important distinction to make. Because every time it rains, the conversation quickly becomes about the weather, when it should really be about governance. The monsoon comes every year. The India Met Department or IMD issues alerts every year. The BMC prepares a monsoon action plan every year. And yet, every year, the city seems to be caught off guard. Mumbai's civic body is India's richest. So this isn't a city that is starved of resources. The BMC has committed more than 17,000 crore rupees in its flagship. That's nearly $2 million road concretization project, specifically aimed at reducing monsoon potholes. So the question is, why are the results still missing? Why does every monsoon feel like a stress test that the city fails? Why do Mumbaikars keep paying the price with their time, livelihoods, mental health, and far too often their lives? Now, if you're from India, there is one phrase that is almost synonymous with the city, the spirit of Mumbai. The city is known for its legendary resilience, its relentless work ethic, which allows its residents to bounce back to life immediately after crises. And that spirit is truly extraordinary. But Mumbai's resilience should be a source of pride, not an excuse for administrative failure. It's time to shift the conversation from the spirit of Mumbai to the state of it during monsoon. The monsoon is one of India's most anticipated seasons. It brings down the hot summer temperatures, fills our lakes and breathes life back into the land. But for millions of commuters, it also signals the start of something else. Waterlogged roads, endless traffic jams and several precious hours lost on the road. Today that story played out once again. Heavy rain lashed India's capital New Delhi. The India Met Department issued red, orange and yellow alerts across the city. The wider national capital region was also put on alert. This region includes Delhi and its neighbouring cities such as Noida, Ghaziabad, Faridabad and Gurugram. Several low-lying stretches reported waterlogging, traffic slowed across key stretches and commuters, they were left in long queues of stationary vehicles. Take a look at this. In Gurugram, which is one of India's largest corporate hubs, the police advised private companies to let employees work from home. The aim was to reduce the number of vehicles, keep traffic moving and ensure emergency services could reach their destinations. But here's the thing, the advisory was issued just for one day. At max, it might come for another day. But the problem it is trying to solve returns every single year, and it is not limited to Delhi. Over the past few weeks, similar scenes have played out in Mumbai, in Bengaluru, Hyderabad and several other cities. The location may change, the rainfall may be different, but the outcome is always the same. Waterlogged roads, traffic gridlock and a daily commute that turns into an hours-long ordeal. So why does this keep happening? Is rain really the problem? Not entirely. Most cities are actually built to handle the monsoon. The real problem is what happens when the rain hits the ground. In many places, storm water drains are too small. They're either poorly maintained or clogged with silt and garbage. In other areas, lakes, wetlands, natural drainage channels have gradually disappeared as cities have expanded. So the water has nowhere to go. It spills onto the roads and it stays there. And there is a deeper problem underneath all of this. Our cities are growing faster than the infrastructure can keep up with. Every year, more vehicles are added to the roads, more housing, more office complexes, concrete structures are built, but drainage networks rarely grow at the same pace. That puts the entire system under pressure. Before the first drop of rain even falls and once the roads begin to flood, the problems multiply. Motorcyclists pull over under flyovers and underpasses to escape the rain. That takes up road space and creates new bottlenecks. At the same time, slippery roads and standing water force drivers to slow down. So even a small drop in average speed can lead to long traffic queues during peak hours. And then comes the final blow, vehicle breakdowns. A car stalls, a motorbike stops, or water damages a vehicle's electronics. One breakdown on a busy road can hold up thousands of other vehicles behind it. And that is because Indian cities are already operating under heavy traffic pressure. On most working days, the roads are already congested. There is very little room for any additional disruption. So when heavy rain or waterlogging takes away even a few lanes, the entire network slows down. Let us show you what we mean. On a normal day, a 10-kilometer journey can take well over half an hour. In some of India's biggest cities, Delhi, Bengaluru, Pune, Hyderabad, Mumbai, they are already among the country's most congested urban centers. So when the monsoon arrives, it is not starting with empty roads. It is adding pressure to a system that is already stretched. So what needs to change? The first step is preparation. Stormwater drains, catch pits and natural water channels should be cleaned more efficiently. This should happen before the monsoons and not after the streets are already flooded. Secondly, roads should also be designed to drain water quickly instead of trapping it. Number 3, in areas that flood every year, such as low-lying underpasses, high-capacity pumping systems can make a huge difference. Authorities should look to deploy more of them. Number 4, technology, of course, has a role too. Real-time flood alerts, artificial intelligence-based traffic management and quick response teams can prevent small bottlenecks from turning into citywide gridlock. And 5th, when extreme weather is forecast, flexible office hours, hybrid work and greater use of public transport can take pressure off our already congested roads. The monsoon is not an unexpected event. It returns every single year. So when the same streets flood and the same traffic jams return, it is no longer just a weather story. It is a test of how well our cities are planned, how well they are maintained and managed. Because building infrastructure is only half the job. Keeping it working when it is needed the most is the other crucial half.